The first thing, of course, don't panic. The second thing would be to constantly review different safety rules for different situations that you're in. And so no matter where you are, you know, if you're out shopping, you're going to do one thing. If you're at home, you're going to do another. If you're at church, you're going to do a third thing. And so it's being situationally aware and being calm to be able to react in a very quick manner to whatever situation you're in is going to be what's going to save your life. The main idea with a single-story house, ranch-style house, for example, is to put as many walls between you and the outside as you possibly can. Because as the tornado comes in, it starts collapsing walls, and so it tends to, you know, a tornado is in some ways fluid, right? It's air, so it's kind of fluid. So it tends to hit something, it'll crush the wall, but then it'll kind of slide over it. So if there is a surviving wall or walls, they're going to be your east and your north wall. So your northeast corner is going to be safer than the southwest corner, for example. And so the more walls you put between you and the outside, that's going to stop flying debris from coming through the windows and the walls and striking you and you know, causing you harm. The other thing too is very tightly enclosed rooms. First of all, they're engineered to be a little more sound, a little more sturdy, and if one wall does collapse, it tends to collapse and lean against another wall, and so you tend to form this TP, and when you're down as low as you can possibly get, then you have some sort of protection over your head. One of the things that we've been telling people lately is to make sure you're dressed properly. When the warnings went out a couple of weeks ago on Leap Day for the tornadoes in Branson and Buffalo, one of the things that we advised people to do was in being prepared, was they're in their night clothes, for example. They're ready for bed. These things happened, you know, early in the morning, 1:30. But people need to be dressed properly. They need to have on a proper set of shoes. They need to have on proper clothes, because the temperatures can drop behind these things. I mean, you may be without a shelter, and man, the wind's going to come in, and it's going to be raining. And in the case of the '96 tornado in Lebanon, they had 6 inches of snow. You know, it can be crazy. So make sure you're dressed properly. Make sure that you have copies of all your belongings in one place, or better yet, rent a safety deposit box for your more important papers. Your life insurance, health insurance, home and auto insurance papers should be kept somewhere else, or have copies of them, because if you do sustain damage, you're going to need that documentation. If you do sustain damage, watch your step. There's often glass, you know, shards of wood, huge splinters, so be very careful in the dark. Be careful for downed electrical wires. We have lots of people that get electrocuted. They've survived the tornado, but they get electrocuted trying to move a wire off a car, off a house, trying to rescue somebody, and things like that. And so, you know, you have to think, okay, we've had a tragedy, let's create no more casualties. All right, and it's kind of very much like what they do in war or police fair. Don't create any more casualties than you already have necessary. So exercise caution both before and afterwards, and good common sense.